Cheers, y'all. Welcome back to the channel. I'm AJ, and today we're gonna do some cooking. It is a chilly November evening, and I figured what would be better than turning on some Harry Potter and having some of our favorite Harry Potter recipes. We're gonna make 3 of my favorite recipes: 1 sweet pumpkin pasty, 1 savory pumpkin pasty, and some delicious butterbeer. CJ is already in the kitchen making some homemade butterscotch topping. Quick story time before we get cooking. So we went to a little event at the library like, I don't know, 8-9 years ago, and it was for adults. It was like an adults only Harry Potter event. So we went real quick, and when we showed up, they were downstairs in the library just cooking these recipes. They had like a cute little photo op and everything. So CJ and I thought they were so tasty. I will link the recipes below. These are not my recipes. They're from the library, and also the library got them from this website here. So I'll put that in the description in case anybody wants to follow along. I definitely recommend. Let's join and get cooking, y'all. So what are we using for the homemade butterscotch topping?
Brown sugar, salt, vanilla, butter, and heavy whipping cream.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring it to a boil and let it simmer for 5 to 6 minutes.
So the reason we're making our own butterscotch topping is because we went to all the stores in our city looking for butterscotch topping and butter extract. We could not find either. And you need both for the butterbeer. The butterscotch topping is like much more necessary. We Googled, we were trying to like see, you can order it on Amazon, but I didn't want to wait. I had all the other stuff, so CJ was like, whatever, I'll just make some at home. So hopefully it turns out well. I have faith in CJ. And Junie is ready to cook, of course. Mama's little catatouille. You love cooking, huh, baby? You love cooking? You love to cook, Mama's good girl. Yes. See, we're making Harry Potter food, friends. Yummy. You like my flowers, dude? You like my flowers, dude? Thank you. Oh, thanks. Let's see, there's the progress on the butterscotch topping. It's looking good. You said it tastes good?
It tastes really good.
Good job, babe. Okay, so while CJ makes the butterscotch, I'm just gonna prep my little area. Boom, boom, boom. So we're prepping, June, we're prepping. Yeah, we're prepping. Okay, so I'm gonna press the savory ones together when we get there. CJ will press the sweet ones. I'm giving us each a fork to like crimp the empanada edges with, as well as this to put a little water. You push them around the edges, dip, push them around the edges of the empanada, and then you crimp it. So, okay, so guys, we've got some homemade butterscotch topping. It says in the recipe that it should be kind of thin when it cooks, but it'll thicken as it sits. We'll see. The recipe says place parchment on 2 half sheet pans. I'm just going to use 1 because I'm making half the recipe. The whole recipe will make 20 of each. I do not need 40 pasties, so I'm going to make 10 of each. Saute onions over medium heat until translucent, and then add garlic and sausage. Okay. You know, CJ used to be a prep cook and got some cute little techniques here, so that's what you're seeing. Watch this. All right, got a half tablespoon of minced garlic going in. And it even smells better. Delicious. My goodness. Garlic sauteing, huh? Thank you for cutting that in half for me, babe. CJ got this pork prepped in half. Oh, toss it right in. It says to cook until the meat is no longer pink, cooked all the way through, of course. And then you know me, I'm gonna cook mine an extra 30 seconds after that. Just for good measure. Now, you guys, I know J.K. Rowling is like problematic, y'all. She is against certain communities and people, and you know we love everyone over here, so we don't like that nonsense. Definitely not. However, Harry Potter is a part of my childhood. It is nostalgic. It makes me so happy. While I will not be watching the new cast or the new show and stuff like that, the original book and the original movie are such a part of my childhood, so I have mixed feelings. I don't know what to think. I don't want to support it because of her hateful speech and the rhetoric she spews. I don't stand for that. And the other way, it's part of my childhood. I love it, and it makes me so happy. So what I did, we got clever over here on CloveAnchorVlogsYT, y'all. I made my own little wizards and witches background with some mischievous classical symphonic music. And instead of supporting her movie, I'm going to make my little Harry Potter tree and put on my video and enjoy little wizards learning how to cast spells with some music. And then I'm going to play some Stardew Valley. But yeah, like, I don't know how to feel about it. I feel both ways. It's very problematic, I will admit. And I don't know what is on my pan, but I cannot get this off, and it's driving me crazy. All right, we're going to let this pork brown. And I got to tell you guys, I always cook with one of these little silicone spatulas. And now we're going to set the pork to the side in a bowl, and I'm going to prepare the sweet mixture. Let's see what the recipe calls for. Preheat oven to 400, okay? Okay, in a large bowl, and using a hand mixer on medium speed. I don't have a hand mixer, but I do have my KitchenAid, so I'll just use that. Mix the cream cheese and butter together until blended. Then stir in the pumpkin puree, maple syrup, vanilla, sugar, and seasonings. Stir until blended and set aside. Okay. Okay, so the recipe calls for 2 ounces of cream cheese. If you want to make 20 pasties, we're making 10, so we need 1 ounce of cream cheese. That's an ounce of cream cheese. Calls for 4 tablespoons of butter, so I'll be using 2. So these 2 ingredients are the beginning of the sweet pasties. CJ is gonna mix these in the stand mixer. Okay, next up for these sweet ones, we're gonna stir in the pumpkin puree, maple syrup, vanilla, sugar, and seasonings. And the seasonings are clove, but I'll be using allspice, and cinnamon. Since I'm splitting the recipe, it's going to be a ½ teaspoon of cinnamon and 1/8 teaspoon of allspice. And then half of a 15-ounce can of pumpkin puree. Not pumpkin pie filling, pure pumpkin. Okay, so it is 1 tablespoon of sugar or granulated sugar substitute. 1 tablespoon maple syrup. ½ teaspoon vanilla extract going in. Stir until blended and set aside.
Push it down and give it one more blend because there's some like butter on the bottom.
CJ just finished blending up the sweet mixture. Let's go make the savory one. Toss the butter in the microwave for about 7 or 8 seconds. It is nice room temperature butter. You can see there, you can just press on it. We're gonna mix this butter with half the can of pumpkin puree since I'm making half the recipe. It is so gross looking, but there we go. The pumpkin puree is mixed with the butter. I remember from making this before a few times that it does look a little chunky like that, and that's totally fine. That's how it looked in the demonstration I gave. It's gonna melt down and bake and be delicious. All right, guys, I need a ½ cup of, well, they call for feta. I'm using gorgonzola. A few of them have fallen in, so I'll accommodate that in my half-cup portion. Got my cutest little nutcracker measuring cup. Okay. Half a cup of gorgonzola. We need some salt and pepper, about a half teaspoon of each. I'm gonna just eyeball that. Just salt. Black pepper. They call for a little rosemary, but I have Italian seasoning that has rosemary, so I'm gonna use that. Then we mix in this delicious looking pumpkin and butter mixture. And this is why I love my silicone spatula. Look at this. See, just scrapes everything nice and clean. Then we're just gonna mix it all up. And this is our savory mixture. I know this looks crazy, but y'all, this is so delicious. Now, we got our 2 fillings. Let's get those empanadas out and stuff them. I have the Goya empanadas. I have the 5-inch frying 10 discs in the pack. Again, if you're gonna make that whole recipe, you're gonna need 2 packs of empanadas for the recipe. I'm making half, so I got the 1 pack. I have orange ones. CJ has the tan colored ones. I'm gonna get stuff in some savories. CJ's got the sweets going over there. Good times, y'all. What was not a good time was trying to open this package. Both of our packages were giving us difficulties, to say the least. All right, so 2 tablespoons of filling. This is about a tablespoon here. You don't want to overdo it because then your empanada will just burst. Just take your finger, clean finger of course. Just a light dab of water right around the edges there. Then you're going to use your fork and you're going to crimp it all the way closed. And you can see this one? Too much filling. Just a tad too much, and that's okay. I'll eat it still. But it's just for us, that's okay. So I'll do a little bit less on my next one. Empanada 1. There you have it. You give your empanada dough just a slight little stretch there. These crimped edges are so tasty. And you know what's cool about this recipe that I always like is that usually when you make empanadas, you fry them. This one you bake in the oven. Very cool. You just get to eliminate all that grease and stuff. It's really nice. Now, I'm not hating on a fried empanada because you guys know I could put like 3 of those down anytime. But, just saying. Alright, you guys, and there you have it. 10 gorgeous, savory pumpkin pasties. I am going to brush them with an egg wash now and pop them in the oven. You guys, look at CJ's. The sweet pumpkin pasties, gorgeous. We're going to brush those with the egg wash as well. Great. And just don't overdo it, you know? It's just an egg wash. You just want to give it a little light basting all around the entire empanada, the backs too, y'all. Get up underneath right there. Yep. Here they are with the egg wash. I'm gonna put them in the oven for 15 minutes, y'all. And then we have the sweet pumpkin pasties with the egg wash. Going in the oven for about 15 minutes. So we put a cup of cream in the stand mixer, 2 tablespoons powdered sugar, and 2 tablespoons of regular sugar. 1 and 2. Okay, it calls for a pinch of salt and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I have my half teaspoon here because I can't find my regular teaspoon, so there you go. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So whip until cream is firm, but not stiff. I'd say, yeah, firm but not stiff, right? Now we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of the butterscotch topping. Y'all, this butterscotch topping that CJ made from scratch, my goodness, buttery gracious. It tastes fabulous. Got 2 nice tablespoons going right in. Then you mix it again until it is all well mixed in. Looks mixed in to me. Let's check it out. Perfect. Sweet, nice and thick, creamy, slightly tangy. All right, y'all, just took my empanadas out of the oven. Look how delicious they came out. I think they came out perfect. Now, check out what's going on over here. CJ is lightly buttering the tops of the empanadas, the sweet ones. And then we're gonna just sprinkle a little cinnamon sugar on top. I got my empanadas on the cooling rack. Got my butterscotch topping set aside right over here with my whipped cream, ready to top the drinks with. CJ's putting that cinnamon sugar on the sweet empanadas. It looks so good. And I'm gonna put the mixture of flavoring inside of the soda. Those empanadas look so good. Can't wait to try them. I got my cute little butterbeer mugs from when we went to the Harry Potter New York City store. I will link that video below, as well as my video, my Wizarding World. I'm gonna line the cups with some of the butterscotch topping. We also went to the Harry Potter exhibit. That was a lot of fun. We just made like a whole fun day of it. I do not know how to line these cups. It looks not great. But the point, I mean, it's happening, so we're good. Got some butterscotch in that one. I will link that video below for you guys if you want to check it out. It was a lot of fun. We also went to Chinatown that day and we ate some delicious dumplings. Ooh. Some delicious noodles and custards and desserts. My goodness. Always a great time. All right, y'all, the cups are lined with butterscotch, and I have a little bit on the bottom, as you can see, extra, because you're gonna want to stir it in a little. Another change that I make is I use A&W root beer because I do not prefer cream soda. We also have the A&W Zero Sugar root beer to try out. Let's make our butterbeers. Now, I could not find that butter extract anywhere. It was driving me crazy. And since I didn't use the butter extract, I did not go and use the rum extract either because it would be too strong. So I'm leaving the extracts out. We are working with the homemade butterscotch topping, which is so rich and delicious in flavor. So I think we're gonna be all set. This is the regular Ains over here. Now again, you're gonna wanna leave a little room in your glass. Give it a little light stir. And then put a good amount of your whipped topping on there. Just give it a little stir. Make it into butterbeer. And you can feel it dissolving, so you'll know when it's done. Yum, you guys. We're in shadow, huh? Okay, this is the A&W Zero Sugar Root Beer. And again, just give it a little stir. You'll feel when it dissolves. It doesn't take long at all. There you go. Okay, you're gonna go ahead and put a nice amount of that whipped topping on there. It's so nice and fluffy. It floats right on top perfectly. Delicious. How good does that look, you guys? Oh my goodness. Now, like I said, I went to the New York City Harry Potter store, and they have the butterbeer bar. They got these little cute cups there. Their butterbeer is great, but my whipped topping and my butterbeer is better. So I definitely urge y'all to try this recipe at home. It's easy and it's fabulous. That is so good. Is this not one of the cutest things y'all have ever seen? CJ just put the homemade butterscotch into this cute little tiny jar. It's stunning, delicious. That's the savory one. It looks delicious. I cannot wait to try them both. Okay, the savory one is so good. That is so good. Okay, let's try the sweet one. That is so good. The cinnamon sugar on top, very lightly. Delicious. I love them. All right, guys, I got my empanadas. Got my butterbeer, G&G. And I'm watching my video that I made. If y'all want to check it out, I'll link it below. Thank y'all so much for watching. I will see you next Sunday with a brand new vlog. Make sure you smash that subscribe to join the adventure. I love having you. And if you'd like to keep in touch outside of YouTube, you can find me at CloveAnchorVlogsYT, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Cheers, y'all.